Good evening, welcome to Central Park for the rearranged slalom lager fixture. Wigan versus Bradford. A match vital to both teams, but for two very different reasons. Bradford hope to take 2 points here tonight, and they hope that we'll see First Division football at Austell next season. Wigan looking for the 2 points to keep the slim championship prospects alive. Yeah, I'll see you. Wigan out on the field first. Tonight in the Bradford team, we see the return of Phil Ford and Steve Donlan, two ex-Wigan players who left Central Park earlier on this season. The record exchange deal which saw Ellery Hanley come to Wigan. It's the first time Hanley's played against his old club. Facing him tonight will be the ex-League captain John Woods, master tactician who plotted Wigan's downfall earlier on in the season. And Wigan lost so convincingly at Austell. Just waiting for the Bradford team to take the field. Here they come, led tonight by Steve Donlan. Hello? No, not yet. Okay. Right. Ta-ra. Referee for tonight's game is Mr. Robin Whitfield, chosen early on in the week to be the official, the centre of the Challenge Cup final in May. Calls both captains to the centre. Graham West and Steve Donlan. Ex-club mates just 8 months ago. So it'll be Bradford to kick off. Wigan playing from right to left as we look towards the scoreboard end of the ground. And Johnny Woods to start the game. And he gets the game underway with a kick deep. Hampson comes up, puts it onto Potter. Was driving towards the Wigan 25. Good tackle coming in from Priest. Northern hooker. Now Edwards. Short ball to Brian Case. Driving in down the centre of the field. Tufts pulling away. Case is allowed to carry on. Lucas gets his first touch. Running to the right. Good run. Almost brought the tackle of Sheldon. And gives away the free kick. Pushing Sheldon off. So the opening minute of the first half. Woods elects to kick for goal. Quite within his range. Up he comes, wastes no time. Kicks high. And he strikes it nicely, makes no mistake. Takes Bradford into a 2-0 lead. Hanley placing the ball. And Stevenson is left for the kick. It's a kick down. Ball hits Sheldon's foot and bounces up. Over loose forward Molden into touch. So the first scrum of the match, about 15 yards from the Bradford Northern line. Sean Edwards will feed. Referee just keeping both packs apart. Now Edwards feeds, receives to the back, puts it onto Gill, coming inside. Now onto Hanley, going for the post, goes round Donlan's sattel. Ford comes in. Takes Hanley to ground about 8 yards from the Bradford Northern line. Russell goes to right in half-back. Ball onto Edwards. Long ball from Edwards into Stevenson. Tries to go around the outside. Taken by side bottom, just about a foot from the touchline. Popular side of the ground. All now with Edwards again. On to West, goes driving in. Tries to turn, unloads back to Potter. Long ball from Potter to Hanley. Hanley, quick pass out to Russell. But a good tackle by Donlan. Wigan losing about 10 yards in the move. Now Gill takes it up from right in half-back. Goes around the blind side, puts the ball back to Goodway. Good Northern tackling. Ball with Edwards again. Now Hanley, centre field, onto West, driving in. Pushes off Sheldon, throws a ball, but Hanley unable to hold. The ball's going loose. The referee blows for a knock-on. So another scrum down. Straight in front of the Bradford post. This time it'll be Godfrey to feed, and there's a heel against the head. Hanley picks up, decides to go around the blind side, throws a long ball out to Hampson. Goes round Potts. And finally taken to ground by Donlan. Edwards looking for runners, finds Case. Straightens up. Taking about 10 yards from the Bradford line. And Bradford get the free kick. Case adjudged not to play the ball properly. Mr. Whitfield showing in the early minutes of the first half that he means to play this match by the book. And if you don't play the ball with your foot, you'll be penalised. This time it's Phil Ford with a kick to touch. Makes about 20 yards. The restart, short ball into Molden, driving in. Met well by West and Lucas. Bradford playing along the line. This time with Tufts. Makes about 5 yards before West goes in the tackle again. Onto Woods, short ball from Woods onto Sherratt. Makes about 5 yards. Bradford bring it out through the forwards up to the halfway. Ball out with Woods again, changes direction. And time for the kick. Kick bounces off Gill's legs. Has to run it back. Makes a good break. Goes round Molden's sattel, but finally taken by Ford and Donlan. Russell and her to get on the game. We're now playing along the line. Onto Goodway in the centre of the field. Shoves off Tufts. Good run by Goodway. He's got Stevenson inside. Just unable to get his pass out. Sam Hampson out in half-back. Edwards finds runners in Case. Onto Goodway. Goodway onto Braithwaite. Braithwaite flung into touch by Simpson. Heath Godfrey, Bradford scrum half to feed. Ball comes straight out, picked up by Simpson, who's unable to hold. It's another knock on. This time it'll be Sean Edwards to feed. We're going to have the head. Man Bradford get the free kick. Not a popular decision with the crowd on the far side of the field. There's a hand somewhere in the scrum, trying to bring the ball out. And Ford puts a deep kick in to touch. Makes another 20 yards. Priest will restart. Short ball onto Andy Sykes. Goes for the drive in. Taken well by Case and Kiss. Inside the Wigan quarter. Heath. Puts the ball out to Sheldon. Graham West is there though. All with Woods. Decides to go at himself. And straight at Lucas. Priest acting halfback. Onto Heath. Onto Mulden. To Donlan. Tries to come back inside. Runs straight at Edwards. Short ball onto side, going around the blind side. Potter just did enough. The six tackles coming up. Ball goes to Godfrey, puts up the high kick. Hampson's coming for it. Both Hampson and Hanley take the ball. I don't think Tufts knows who he's tackled. Well, it's Hanley, eventually comes up with it. Now Brian Case trying to bring it away. Take away some of the danger from the Wigan line. And Kiss makes about 10 yards. Bunch to the ground by Sykes on the Wigan 25. While with Graham West coming around the blind side, turns, puts a good ball in back inside to Potter. Edwards is chasing him. Edwards sees a good ball. He's got Hanley to his right. Good well-timed pass. Hanley has to come inside. Nearly run over referee Whitfield. Ford just gets in to make the tackle. Now Edwards again. Onto Russell. I'm sure Hanley would have been through had referee Whitfield not been in the way. Now Edwards puts up the high kick. Potts takes it. What a good tackle coming in from Hampson. Godfrey. Puts it onto Mulden. Makes about 10 yards before he's brought to ground by Case. Ball out with Sykes. Back to Godfrey. Onto Sherratt. Manages to get a good ball out to Simpson. Only got Hampson's coming across. Simpson just loses his footing. Hampson wraps him up, the ball goes loose. What's referee going to do? Already signal for play on. And then he gives Bradford the ball. Braithwaite thinks the ball should have been his, but instead it's Potts who comes up with it. Bad ball from Heath onto Woods, recovered well. Ball dropped by Sheldon. Nice Edwards, he finally picks up. Now puts it to the outside to Gill. Decides to come back in. Oh, by Godfrey and Woods. Oh no, with Lucas driving down centre field. Oh, to Edwards now, looking for the gap. Good tackle by Priest. And Kiss acting halfback. Sit out left to West, looking for runners back inside to Potter. Throws the ball down. Manages to regather it. Referee Whitfield indicates ball went back. Now Edwards decides to go at himself, looking round, finds Case. Case still manages to get the ball out to Lucas, now back to Edwards. Quick ball from Edwards to Goodway. Goodway puts it into Stevenson and Stevenson goes in. About 5 yards from the corner flag. Looked like referee Whitfield was indicating 6 tackle, but Wigan managed to keep the ball alive. Sent it out right along the line. Goodway took it up. Potts, the Bradford fullback, was committed. Finally Stevenson took Goodway's pass to go in the corner. "30 minutes of the match gone. We can take the lead for the first time. Just been asked by our cameraman Brian Worthington to apologise, as there's no clock on the video tonight. Brian reckons he was late coming with the traffic. Meanwhile, the crowd goes quiet as Stevenson shapes up for the kick. About 30 yards out. Popular side of the ground. Kick comes in. The kick well wider post. So Wigan in the lead now, 4 points to 2. Woods comes up for the restart. It's a ball deep downfield, taken by Hampson. It's as good as a pass. Turned round, a little moment's hesitation, and decided to run it. Finally brought to ground by Tufts. Edwards, short ball to Potter. Potter trying to turn. No Kiss, going himself from out in half-back's got Edwards in support. Tackle comes in from Sheldon. And Tufts, and we can get the penalty. Tufts stealing the ball after the tackle had been called. A chance for David Stevenson to take play back into the Bradford half of the field. Case on to Edwards. Short ball to Case. Nice to run it in. Breaks one tackle. Taken by Sherratt. Now Hanley coming through. The scissors movement runs straight into Sykes. Kiss again. Short ball to Lucas this time. Tries his luck. Puts it a good ball back to Edwards. Edwards looking for the gap. Throws a good ball back inside to Kiss. A good way running in. Onto Hanley, and Hanley goes in. Triumph surely then joy against his old club. About 15 minutes of the match gone. 2 tries in 3 minutes from Wigan. Stevenson with a conversion attempt. About 15 yards in. From the 25-yard line. Stevenson shaping for the kick. Up it comes, the kick's curling in, and it does. Just curls in before it hit the right hand upright. For Wigan going to a 10-2 lead. Just 17 minutes of the match gone. Woods restarts. Sam decides to put a grubber kick in. Ball bounces under Edwards. Bounces to the side. West picks up. Referee allows play on. Now Gill goes to acting halfback. Works the run around with Edwards. Decides to go through the gap. Good break by Gill. He's got Hanley in support. Turns forward inside out. Ball now inside to Edwards. Good break by Wigan. This is Wigan back to their best. Now Hanley in centre field. Onto Case. Good way. Ball back to Stevenson. Stevenson can't hold. Goodway picks up. Referee blows for a knock on. Good enterprising rugby from Wigan. Godfield feed the scrum. Bradford get the free kick. Wigan Pank going down too soon. And Ford puts the kick to touch. Priest will restart. It's a short ball to Sykes coming in. Taken well by Kiss. Bradford now playing along the line. This time Sherratt takes it up. Good tackle from Ian Potter. Ball with Woods. Decides to go at himself. Kiss pitches the ball. Something we've not seen a lot of this season. Now Wigan back in possession with Potter. Potter loses the ball low in the tackle. So a scrum down just 10 yards inside the Wigan half of the field. Godfield feed. Loose arm, Godfrey knocks on. Referee Whitfield saw it. Time Edwards will feed. Elpacks go down. Deal by Kiss. Edwards puts it on to Gill coming inside. Tries to break. Shows the dummy, but Molden didn't take it this time. Now Edwards again, centre field. Puts it on to Russell. Russell runs straight at Woods, but loses the ball. He's picked up by Potts. Flung to the ground by Case. Priest acting halfback. Ball at left to Sykes. Big prop from Bradford. Tries to drive it in. Oh, Woods again. It's down to Tufts. Tries his luck. Makes about 5 yards. Woods again. Short long ball. Misses out Godfrey. Puts it onto Molden, but a good solid tackle from Andy Goodway. Right with Sheldon again. And 6 tackles coming up. Godfrey takes it from acting halfback. Ball goes straight at Goodway. Bounces back. 6 more tackles to Bradford. O'Donnell acting halfback. Onto Godfrey. Now to Sheldon. Tries to go inside. Stopped well in his tracks by Case and Lucas. Woods, centre field. Tries to go for the gap. Good tackle by Potter. Ball out to the left with Sherratt. Running at the Wigan line. Taken well by his opposite number, Lucas. Now with Sidebottom getting in on the act. His first touch of the ball. And 6 tackles coming up again for Bradford. Look for the ball going to Woods for the kick. Here it comes. Kicks high. Hampson takes well. Ball now with Gill. Ford's chasing him all the way. Gill's still going, even with Ford on his back. Edwards. Casey steaming through on his right. Good ball from Edwards. Timed it perfectly. Case being held on the Wigan 25. Edwards again in the thick of it right from the beginning. Now on to West. The Goodway line deep. Trying to get the ball away. Ball back to Stevenson. Puts up the slice kick, but the ball goes in touch. On the full, so his ball back. Scrum down about 20 yards from the Wigan line. Just over halfway through the first half. Wigan leading 10 points to 2. Bradford get another free kick at the scrum. Referee calling Nicky Kiss out. Looks like Kiss accused of striking. Before the ball was in. Godfrey puts the kick to touch. Now Sykes come through on the short ball, goes to the drive for the line, runs into West. Man then loses the ball in the process. We'll let off for Wigan. Important heel for Kiss. Scrum about 5 yards from the Wigan line. Kiss wins it. Edwards comes out round the back. Straight into Molden and Woods. Now Hanley puts on to West. Makes about 5 yards before he's stopped in his track by Tufts. Looking forwards, lining up at the moment. Lucas giving no room to move by Tufts. Crowd want the referee to get the Bradford forwards onside. Now Case brings it away. Case still going, looks round, tries to unload. And Sherratt came over the top. Ball goes back to David Stevenson. Shapes up for the kick, puts a high kick, Ford's underneath it, takes it well. Decides to run back, crossfield. Taken well by David Stevenson, following up his own kick. Godfrey, it's on to Potts. On to the left. Heath puts the ball back to Priest. Bradford making no ground at the moment. Tufts. Short ball inside to Sherratt. Ball goes back to Potts for the kick this time. Kick charges off West. It's a chase. Hanley decides to kick through. Loses footing in the process. Finally it's Potts that picks up. Like Hanley might have kicked Nicky Kiss's head as he went through. Kiss on the floor holding his head. About to be resuscitated by Keith Mills. Meanwhile back to the game. Sheldon tries to bring it away. Woods. Good weighted ball onto Price. Onto Molden. Was into side bottom. Amply taken by Hanley. Priest again. To back in centre field. To Woods. Onto Tufts. I'm looking at a free kick. Like a difference of opinion. With Sykes and Hanley. So Wigan get the free kick. About 10 yards inside the Bradford half of the field. Stevenson with it. Good kick. Makes about 20 yards. His kiss goes up for the restart. Onto Edwards, looking for runners. Finds Lucas. He's driving down centre field. Unloads a good ball back to Case, supporting well. Oh, it's a Hanley. Now it's a Goodway. Goodway just unable to get his ball out. Now Hanley tries to go it himself, matching halfback. On to West. Got Braithwaite in support. Good ball out to Braithwaite. Braithwaite loses possession. And there was no one near him really. Chance miss for Wigan. So the initiative lost from Wigan. Let's see what they can do with the scrum. Godfrey feeds. Hans comes out to the scrum to take the ball back. As it was coming out the Wigan side, Wigan get the free kick. Kiss restarts, onto Edwards, to Hanley, centre field. Good pass to Stevenson. Onto Russell. Can he get his pass out to Gill? He does. Gill dancing round, doesn't know where he's going, looking around for support. Finally taken to ground by Woods and Godfrey. Woods and Russell having a dust up, nothing comes of it. Russell gets back into play, good ball out to Goodway. Wigan now about 12 yards from the Bradford line as he played out to West. Onto Stevenson cutting in. Looking round to unload the ball, he's still going. Taken by Sykes about 5 yards from the Bradford line. All out with Edwards, short ball onto West. West tackled about 2 yards short of the line. Now Kiss goes in. And referee gives it. Kiss goes in from the acting halfback. Scored a few of them this season as Nicky. Good applause for Case as he comes back. Leaving Stevenson to add on the extras. Kick about 10 yards in from touch. Again, the far side of the field. About 30 yards out.
I'm quite right actually.
Good kick by Stevenson. Straight through the post. Adds on the extras. Who wants to restart? Again, puts the kick off to the right. Ball bounces off Edwards' knee. Potter in support. Onto Goodway. Russell with him. Decides to run himself. It's the ball back. Picked up well by Russell. The referee blows for a forward pass. Score, Wigan 16, Bradford 2. And the scrum's packed down on the Wigan 25. Godfrey will feed for Bradford. Goodway comes out onto Edwards. Now Hanley. Hampson joining the line. Onto Russell. Pushes off. Donlan puts it out to Gill now. Force chasing him. Gill stopped by Ford and Woods. Almost on halfway. Ball with Hanley in centre field. Onto Goodway. Turns. Ball bounces off Case. Backhanded by Hanley. Referee is blowing for a knock on. Referee calling out Henderson Gill. And some words said in the earlier tackle between him and Phil Ford. Now Godfrey feeds. Good heel by Case onto Edwards. Hanley. Hampson now. We're going to have the overlap on the far side, but Hampson just unable to get the ball out. Hanley. Back to Edwards, looking for the gap. Just loses footing on halfway as Mullen comes in over the top. And Brian Case takes it in, turns. See back to Lucas. Case back inside to Case. Looks like a loose arm from Sherratt. Referee allows play on. Edwards onto West, goes for the return. West decides to straighten up and straight at Sheldon. And the sixth battle's coming up. Goes to Edwards. It's the grubber kick into touch. Just beats Simpson to it. Huckleby Godfrey to feed. It's a good ball out to Bradford, to Godfrey, now to Woods. Tries to run Hanley. Slips round, Goodway tattle, but Hanley recovers well. Godfrey had action half-back. The inside, next Mulden taking it up. Bradford again bringing it out through the forwards. Sykes comes on a run. The ball goes out right instead. And the Sherratt tries the kick, it's charged down and now puts Wigan back in possession with Goodway. Running crossfield, decides to go it himself. Now Edwards goes to acting half-back. Onto Hanley, Braithwaite coming inside. Second touch of the ball, tries to go it himself. Held by Mulden. 20 yards inside the Bradford half of the field. Out to Edwards. West, back inside to Lucas, who goes without the ball. Case tidies up well, puts it inside to Hampson. Slips out to one tackle. Edwards again, on to West. Stan bringing it left, turns, puts it back to Lucas. Like a high tackle from Mulden. Lucas goes down on the Wigan, on the Bradford 25. Edwards takes it up into Russell. Flings off Donlan. Edwards decides to put the kick crossfield. Hampson's underneath it, manages to tip it back, puts it out to Hanley. Hanley running crossfield, shoves offside bottom, still going. Flung into touch on the far side of the field, about 5 yards from the line. Good run by Hanley. Godfrey to feed the scrum. Seeves it out from the back. Good way out of the scrum quickly. Makes the tattle. Woods goes to acting half-back. 8 minutes of this first half left. We're getting a 16 points to 2 lead. So the ball goes back to Woods again. Good tackle comes in from Case. Wigan penning Bradford back in their own quarter. Now Sykes takes it up. So ball back, taken well by Godfrey under pressure, but Godfrey being pushed back by Lucas and Case. Ball out with Sheldon. Nice to drive it out. Sends Goodway flying. Goodway goes back in. 6 tackles coming up for Bradford. Kick going back to Potts. Puts up the high kick. Hampson's underneath it. Takes it well. Ball inside to Braithwaite. Tries to run it down the centre. Slips out to one tackle. Simpson's hanging on. The ball goes loose. Off Hanley's hands. It's finally Phil Ford who tidies up. Phil Ford being held by Gill and Russell. It's 2 ex-teammates at one time and a real good tussle tonight. And then Priest goes to acting half-back. Sit out to Tufts. Let's make any ground. Lucas getting on with it. Ball out to Woods. Tufts. On to Mulden. Good tackling coming in from Edwards and Hanley. Now Tufts goes to acting half-back. Holds it out to the left. Sherratt onto Godfrey. Godfrey still managing to get the ball away. His ball's going loose. It's a free-for-all. It's Braithwaite who picks up for Wigan. Good advantage played by referee Whitfield. Now Wigan bringing it along the line. Hanley onto Goodway. Donlan just managed to get a hand to the pass. Now Hampson takes it up. Decides to go in himself. And Hampson loses the ball in the tackle. Godfrey will feed the scrum, almost on 25. He's good heel against the head. Edwards picks up, still going on his knees. Kiss onto Goodway to Hanley. Hampson going out right. Scissors movement brings Stevenson back inside. Just taken by Woods. In the Bradford 25. Kiss going away from acting half-back. Woods again in the saddle. Oh, right now with Hanley. Lucas in support. Hanley sells the dummy. Just going through. Flicks the ball out. Braithwaite picks up. Just unable to hold on. And finally it's Potts that comes away with it. Taken by Case. Oh, Simpson gets into the act. Tries to bring it himself. From acting half-back. Stopped by Goodway. As Sykes comes through with a short ball. 3-man Wigan defence. And stitches the gap. Now Bradford playing on the line with Godfrey. Ball bounces off Potter, picked up well by Graham West. Conlon's chasing him, so he's forward and West will go in. Well, the kick by Godfrey charged down by Potter, picked up by Graham West. Went striding in, despite the attentions of Conlon and Ford. West increases Wigan's lead. Try about 15 yards, the left-hand side of the post. Takes Wigan into a 20 points to 2 lead. And the crowd appreciate that. Well, Stevenson with a conversion attempt. About 23 yards out, just to the left of the post. Attempts to take Wigan into a 20-point lead. Shapes up he comes. And the kick, pull wide of the left-hand upright. So with 4 minutes of this first half left, score Wigan 20, Bradford 2. Woods will restart again. Puts the grubber kick, goes on to kiss his legs. Edwards picks up, it's into Potter driving in. Good run by Potter, being held low by Tufts. Still manages to release the ball. Hanley unable to pick up. Bradford to get the free kick, Hanley offside. And Ford elects to kick for touch. Centre of the field. Wigan showing tonight they're not afraid of moving the ball around. A slice kick by Ford, but it's high enough to get into touch. Priest to restart, short ball onto Sykes, driving in, straight at West and Lucas. They'll get no change out of them tonight. Priest again, onto Godfrey, onto Tufts, turns, works the set piece, Sherritt brings it away. Try to go through the Wigan defence backwards. Ball it with Donlan again on the left, tries to come inside. Potter in good way there, just hit Jim up, just on the Wigan 25. Sykes again, running from the short ball. Hanley just did enough to stop him. Well, floodlights come on here at Central Park. Let's help Bradford find their way as they bring it along the line. Quick ball to Donlan from Sheldon. And the six tattles coming up. Woods goes to acting half-back. Puts up the kick. Hampson takes it. Donlan's coming in. Hampson just manages to get over the Wigan line and carries on. Good run by Steve Hampson. Now Gill. Then from acting half-back. Goes round Sheldon. He's still going. Donlan's chasing after him. Finally makes the tackle. Ball out with Lucas. Straight at Sykes, looking round for support. Hanley just a little slow. As Lucas could have unloaded the ball. Edwards, long ball out to Goodway. Takes it with one hand. Shrugs off Godfrey, shrugs off side bottom. Finally taken by his opposite number, Molden. Stevenson works the run around with Edwards. Looking for the gap, puts it back to West. West trying to get the ball away as he's taken by Sherritt on the halfway. Six tattles coming up. Kiss comes away from matching halfback, puts it back to West. Now on to Hanley. And he got Potts to beat, tries to chip over. Ford's chasing back. Oh, the kick just rolls dead. Enterprising play by Wigan again. Priest to restart with a 25 tap. Short ball onto Sykes. Back to Priest, suspicion of a forward pass. Referee allows it to go. Ball back. Woods can't hold it. Finally it's West. Justice was done there. Ball out with Goodway. Decides to come back inside. Throws the ball back. It's Case there to tidy up. Now he decides to set off himself centre field. Shrugs off two tattlers, puts it back to Kiss. And Kiss held by Woods. And there goes the hoots of half time. A good workmanlike performance from Wigan. They go in leading by 20 points to 2. Welcome back to the second half. News at half time as the Detroiters come on the field for Wigan. It's like he's come on in the centre to replace David Stevenson. Bradford also making a substitution at half-time. Number 14, Fennell, takes the field.
No? On the camera. He's tested it, he said.
Looks like 14 Fennell come on the field to replace number 7 of Bradford, Godfrey. So is Detroit to restart. Puts in a high kick deep. Simpson picks up. Has to run it out. Run straight into Potter. Ball now with Tufts. Short ball to Sherratt. Taken by 3 Wigan defenders on halfway. The ball's come loose. It's picked up by Priest. Edwards is coming in to make the tackle. Priest just takes play into the Wigan half of the field. 6 more tackles to Bradford. Now it's Sykes takes up the running. And Kiss comes up with the ball. Woods quickly out. Now Lucas at acting halfback. Onto Hampson. Hanley. Good way. Tries to run in, run straight at Fennell. Like a loose arm in the tackle. Now Russell goes to acting halfback for Wigan. And to Edwards, short ball inside to Lucas. Gets the ball back to Kiss, now it's a good way. Now Russell. Makes about 5 yards with Donlan hanging on. Follow with Edwards, looking for runners, finds Case. Back inside to Lucas, makes the break, gets a good ball out to Hanley. Woods is holding on, but Edwards is there in support. Onto Potter. Now Dutoit driving in. Quite a good tackle by Sidebottom and Simpson. Now Edwards has to go it himself. It's the ball back inside to Dutoit. Dutoit's going to go over. Manny's penalised for a double movement as Ford comes in for the tackle. A good enterprising break for Wigan, set up by the run by Lucas. Got the ball out for an impossible angle to Hanley. Now Ford puts the kick to touch. Finds it on the 25. Reese comes up for the restart, short ball to Sykes. Taken by Case and Kiss. On with Fennell. Short ball inside to Sherratt. Again Lucas and Kiss in the thick of it for Wigan. Priest onto Woods. And Bradford player along the line. This time with Sheldon. Mulden onto Tufts. Nice to drive it down centre field. Ball into Woods to the right. Puts in the kick. Good kick, finds touch. About 15 yards inside the Wigan half of the field. Score remains Wigan 20, Bradford 2. Edwards waits patiently for the feed. And receives from the back, puts it inside to Gill. Come on, good ball out to Russell. Out to Dutoit. Tries to run it himself. Woods is coming across, so he's Sidebottom. Dutoit just scrambles into the Bradford territory. Gill tries to go for himself from matching halfback. Another good tackle from Sidebottom. Gill makes 10 yards. Braithwaite onto Edwards. Edwards sees the gap. Woods is chasing him. Pulls the ball out. Hanley can't pick up. Finally does. Referee allows play on. Good decision from referee Whitfield. As far as the Wigan spectators are concerned, Edwards works the run round with Potter. That's a good way, took it well, and straight at Donlan. Out to Russell, out onto the wing to Kiss, of all people. Hanley takes a good pass from West. Onto Hampson, tries to chip over, takes it beautifully and goes in. Brilliant try by Steve Hampson. Saw the Bradford defence flat, put the chip over, went in. Took it single-handedly and went over about 10 yards to the right-hand side of the post. It's Gill who's been entrusted with a goal kicking role in the second half. And McGill left-footed. Kick should be easy on the right-hand side of the field. This goes around the corner a bit. Up he comes. And the kick bounces off the post. So Wigan stretch the lead further. The score now, Wigan 24, Bradford 2. Five minutes of this second half gone. Woods restarts with a kick deep. Hampson's underneath it. Puts it inside to Braithwaite. Let's to come down centre field. Taken by Priest on the Wigan 25. Kiss comes up to action half back onto Brian Case. Was driving in. Being held by the Bradford pack. Still can't take him to ground. On to Edwards. Short ball to Lucas. Driving in. Bouncing off Tubbs. Good ball from Lucas onto Potter. Oh, it's a good way. Strokes off Conlon. See back inside to Edwards. Simpson's coming across. Referee's in the way. Wolf's chasing. Good try saving tackle by Phil Ford. Again, referee Mr. Whitfield in the way of play. Now Wigan take it out along the line to Gill. Sells the dummy. Tries to hold off Fennell. Russell being obstructed. It's all action here. Lucas onto Edwards. Short ball to Hanley, bursting through his space, and Hanley's going to go over. Right behind the post. Hanley's second of the evening. Score now, Wigan 28, Bradford 2. And Gill with a kick, straight in front of the post. This time he makes no mistakes, straight through the sticks. Score now, Wigan 30, Bradford 2. Bradford about to make the second substitution. Number 15, Parrott, comes on to replace number 11, Tufts. Woods again restarts. Kick straight to Edwards. It's into West. Tries to drive it in. Parrott gets straight into the action. Edwards, centre field. Onto Potter. Looks for the gap. Almost got through. Hanley, onto Goodway, takes it well, runs straight at Woods. Sips out the tackle, puts it back inside to Lucas. Priest is chasing. Good run by Ian Lucas. Hanley works the run round with Edwards. It's a good ball, taken well by Goodway. Onto Detroit. Detroit tried to Braithwaite going down the wing. But a good crunching tackle from side bottom. Saves the day for Bradford. Wigan really opening up play in the second half. Score, Wigan 30, Bradford 2. Scrums go down on the Bradford 25. Fennell feeds, receives it back. Inside to Woods. Onto side bottom, running cross field. Finds Donlan coming back in support. Slips Hampson's tackle. And Hanley, but finally taken to ground by Braithwaite. Woods at acting half-back, onto Sykes. Onto Parrott, runs straight into Goodway. Referee indicating the tackle was shoulder high. And Fennell tried to push off Russell, but Russell having none of it, throws him back a good 5 yards. Woods, onto Donlan, Ford in support, sets Ford away. Nice to come back inside. Flung to the ground by Goodway. Right to Sykes, entrusted with a kick. Kicks high to the left. Braithwaite takes it well. And Hampson in support. Decides to run it himself. Tackled by Simpson. Now Hampson acting half-back. On to Hanley. Short ball to Dutoit, running centre field. Bounces off Parrott. Still manages to get the ball away. This time Edwards takes it up. Onto Case. Now Russell. Wigan have got a 2-to-1 overlap. Onto Gill. Side bottoms chasing after. Gill's still going. Russell receives the ball back from Edwards. Tries to go it himself. And Kiss takes over, acting half-back. Onto Edwards. Edwards switches play to the left to West. Right, finds Gill coming in. Try to under funnels Tattle. Kiss onto Edwards. Edwards out to West to the left. Ball goes over Casey's head and it's Funnell who come up with it for Bradford. Ball now with Sherratt trying to drive it away. His stiff resistance in Lucas and Potter. Priest. Onto Parrott, goes straight into Goodway. Again, referee Whitfield indicating a shoulder high tackle. Now Sykes. Being held by 4 Wigan defenders, including Case, who's after the ball, I should think. Priest, matching halfback, tries to go it himself. And straight into Graham West. Bradford still 10 yards inside their own half of the field. Ball goes out to Woods, picks it up well, onto Fennell. Six tackle coming up. Ball goes out to Woods. Puts up the high kick. Hampson comes across. Bounces off his chest. Referee allows play on. Now Gill. Running cross field. Goes round Parrott. Decides to go it himself. Onto Hanley. Onto Dutoit on his near side. Decides to go back in the centre. Goes round 4 tackles. Good run by Dutoit. Onto Edwards. Ford's chasing in. Is Edwards going to make it? And he does. Looked like Ford might have just stopped Edwards, but he was in full flight and he straight took him over. About 5 yards to the left-hand side of the post. We're going to have a field day. This time it's Richard Russell from the left-hand side of the field. He'll take the goal kick. Why Russell shaping for the kick. Wigan make another substitution. Number 14, Rob Lowe takes the field. Placing the Wigan fullback, Steve Hampson. Sean Edwards as well receiving a bit of treatment. Russell comes up for the kick. And he makes no mistake. Score now, Wigan 36, Bradford 2. Referee stops the clock. And Edwards is now in treatment. Meanwhile, Rob Lowe takes the field. Woods kicks off, it's now Braithwaite takes it up. Just been told they'll have some tactical changes. Russell will go to full-back. Goodway will go to left centre, enabling Rowe to fit in a loose forward. There he is, first touch of the ball. And Kiss acting half-back onto Edwards, inside ball to Potter. Kiss again and acting half-back. It's the ball back to Dutoit. Shapes the kick. Puts up the kick deep. Simpson's coming across. Takes it well. And decides to run in the centre of the field. Just shrugs out of Lucas's tackle. Taken by Potter. About 2 yards inside the Wigan half of the field. Fennell onto Woods. Tries to come back inside. On there was Sherratt. On ball out to Donlan. Tries to go it, but a good cover tackle from Hanley. Forward onto Sherratt, took the ball well. Puts it inside to Sheldon. Almost breaks the tackle. Grounded by Dutoit on the Wigan 25. On with Fennell. Onto Woods. Oh, the Parrot steaming in. Held by Weston Potter, the ball's loose. Wood picks up. Taken by Russell. 6 more tackles for Bradford and referee Whitfield. Oh, with Funnell. Loses his way as the Wigan defence comes up. Priestad acting halfback. It's on to Sheldon. On to Sykes. There's a long ball out. Taken by Potts. Suspicion of an obstruction. Referee allows play on. Donlan. To Sheldon. To Fennell. Inside ball. To Sherratt. Sherratt runs straight into Potter and Dutoit. Sykes. Onto Woods. Sheldon inside, side bottom, snap pass. Simpson unable to gather. Wigan defence up quickly on it, snuffing out all Bradford moves. So the scrum forms. About 15 yards from the Wigan line. Kiss having difficulty getting in. Now they go down, Edwards feeds, receives from the back. To the side to Hanley, now to Dutoit, on to Goodway. Goodway turns, pulls the ball back. Picked up well by Dutoit. Runs straight at Woods. Throws a wild ball, Russell will recover. Russell picks up well, now puts it inside to Gill. Decides to go at himself. On to Edwards, back to Gill. Gill going round in circles, tying the Bradford defence in knots. So Gill's taking a knock. Referee stops the clock. Gill receives some treatment from Keith Mills. So 16 minutes of the second half gone. We're getting a commanding 36 points to 2 lead. Gill fit enough to play the ball. Kiss switches direction to Potter onto Lowe. Lowe looking round for runners. Finally has to die with it on the tackle of Sherratt. Edwards onto Hanley. Goodway running through the centre. And straight at side bottom. Hanley onto Edwards, back inside to Case, to Lucas, back to Edwards. We can keep it going but lose ground. In the move. Lucas takes it up for the drive, runs straight at Sherratt. 6 tackles coming up. Case puts it back to Dutoit. Butts up the high kick. Simpson's underneath it, takes it well on the run. Tries to go round Potter. Good run by Simpson, going straight down the centre of the field, but a good tackle by Hanley. Brings Simpson down, 20 yards inside the Wigan half of the field. And Priest onto Woods, to Fennell, to Parrott, to drive in. Potter just did enough. Potts joining the line, acting halfback, onto Funnell. Side to Woods, feigns the kick, doesn't feel Case this time. Right to Fennell again. Good tackle by Potter. And Bradford to get the free kick. Potter adjudged stealing the ball after the tackle was called. And Phil Ford puts the kick to touch. Makes about 5 yards. Muller with Parrott driving in now. From the play the ball. Burst pass on the blind side to Sheldon. He's going himself. Throws a good ball back. Look like the Bradford hooker. Priest goes in for the try. And he was. And Graham West calling a union meeting behind the post. As Woods shapes up for the kick. At 10 yards in from touch. And over 28 yards away from the post. Right hand side. Woods takes no time. Up comes the kick. And he misses it. The score, Wigan 36, Bradford 6. As we go into the final quarter of the match. This time referee stops the clock. Quite sure what for. Wigan team a little slow getting away from the line after the missed kick by Woods. Now they're ready. Detroit placing the ball. Puts the kick deep. Straight to Potts. Ford inside him. Tries to run it himself. Taken by Goodway. And Hanley. Ford now coming inside. Has to go at himself. Ball inside to Parrott. West. Lowe's hanging on his back. Finally brings him to ground. Ball now with Sherratt driving in. Wigan reduced to 12 men. Sean Edwards just left the field. We've got a 30-point lead as Sykes comes in. Looks like Ian Potter's dropped back to full back. Russell's rejoined the line. The ball goes to Woods, tries to chip over. Potter's coming through, takes it well. Woods is chasing him. It's finally side. Finally puts him to ground. Now Gill takes it up from matching half-back. Tattle by Sherratt, 10 yards inside the Wigan half of the field. Now West, good on the blind side. Manages to get the ball back to Case. Inside to Gill, who goes without the ball. Russell picks up well. Good run by Russell. Back inside to Lowe. Ford recovered well to make the tackle. Hanley, in the centre of the field, decides to run it himself. Slips out to one tackle. Just unable to get his pass out to Lucas. Case to West. To Goodway. Inside to Braithwaite, took it well. Tattle comes in from side bottom. 6 tackles coming up for Wigan. A good way. It's a good ball back inside to Dutoit. Shrugs off 2 tattlers. Back onto Braithwaite. Tattle about a yard from the line. There's a changeover, the first one of the match. And Parrott tries to bring it away. Simpson onto Woods. Fight to Sherratt. Ball with Woods again, centre field. Inside, ball to Sheldon. Good tackling by Russell. Woods again. Goes out to Mulden. On to Parrott. Tackle comes in from Goodway and West. Ball goes to Woods on the 6th tackle, tries the kick. Gill's chasing back for it. Just stops it. Keeps it in play. He's got time to recover. Coming down the centre of the field. Shrugs off Donlan. And Woods. Good run by Gill. Finally brought to ground by Priest. Hanley acting half-back. It's on the left to Russell. Now to Rob Lowe. Tries to go around Sheldon. Russell again. Onto Case. To Hanley. In the centre of the field. Looking for the gap. Mulden comes in for the tackle. Russell, bringing it right onto Case, to Goodway. Short ball from Goodway. Detroit went running through. Goodway stopped. Or there might be an idea. Or there could have been an obstruction, but referee allows play on. It's Goodway's tackle, yard in from touch. Braithwaite takes it up, side bottoms after him. Tackle completed by Parrott. 6 tackles coming up for Wigan. This ball goes back to Brian Case. Now on to Dutoit. Puts up the high kick. Swirling Potts is underneath it. Taken well by Nicky Kiss. Fennell, an acting halfback, has to go it himself. Run straight into Lucas. Woods onto Mulden. Short ball to Parrott. Straight into Goodway. The Wigan defence, even with 12 men, is holding strong. The ball goes to Woods. Short ball to Sykes. Good tackle by Low and West. Ball out with Donlan. Onto Ford. Tries to go round Gill. Gill just does enough. As Russell comes in to complete the tackle. The 6 tackles coming up. Ball goes to Sheldon. Puts the kick into the touch on the full. This ball back. Well, Russell goes to stand. Scrum half in the absence of Edwards. We can lose the scrum. And Fennell's taken for a ride by Case and Kiss. Ball now with Mulden. Tries to come back inside. Woods goes to action halfback this time. Puts it on to Sherratt. Tries to drive it in. Good tackle by Case. Sykes at a loss, tried to go it himself, manages to get the ball out to Woods. Now out to Donlan. Donlan driving in, but a good tackle by Potter. Donlan still manages to keep it going, gets a good ball back inside to Woods. Kiss is chasing him, so is Russell. Ford can't pick up, finally it's Gill that picks up. Now decides to come back centre field. It's a good ball back to Hanley at space. Is Hanley going to win for his hat-trick? Potts is chasing after him. I think Hanley will go into the corner. Well, Potts slips and Hanley goes in behind the post. Fade to the pass to Goodway, but Hanley finally falls on it to complete his hat-trick. Blistering run from Hanley from the halfway. Gives Russell another chance for the goal. Straight in front of the post. So what a way to meet your old club. Score a hat-trick just like Ellery Hanley's done tonight. Try stretches Wigan's lead further to score. Wigan 40, Bradford 6, with a conversion from Russell to come. And he makes no mistake, so the score now Wigan 42, Bradford 6. "13 minutes of the match left. Once again restarts. The kick deep, taken well by Russell. Long ball back to Lowe. Tries to run it himself. Kiss and action half back onto Russell. Case comes driving through. Holds off Mulden. Case is still going. Finally taken to ground by Woods. Good run by Brian Case. Now Lucas takes it up. Good ball to Goodway. Tries to come back inside. Mulden comes across. On to West. Straightens up. Puts a good ball back to Ian Lucas. Makes about 10 yards before he's brought to ground by Fennell. Wigan now bring along the line to Hanley, to Dutoit, quick hands onto Rob Lowe. Puts the ball back to Sykes, Dutoit's chasing him. Good recovery by Dutoit. Sykes plays the ball to himself. And a penalty to Bradford. Low offside. Pearce takes the quick tap. Well, it didn't look like he tapped it, but anyway, play goes on. Parrott trying to drive it in. Flung to the ground by West on the Wigan 25. Woods at acting halfback, inside to Fennell. Long ball out to side bottom. Dutoit's there. Now Simpson, inside to Fennell. Sykes, centre field. Bounces off Graham West. Pearce onto Woods, onto Mulden, running cross field. Donlan acting halfback. Now Ford tries to get in the action, coming in the middle. Oh, it's a Fennell onto side bottom, but Braithwaite was in quickly. Cuts out the final pass. And Six Stattle's coming up. All goes to Phil Ford. Tries to grub a kick through, but Graham West is there to tidy up. Now Brian Case brings it away. It's a good ball back to Ian Potter. Potter tries to break the tackle. Now Case goes to acting halfback. Onto Hanley. To Russell. Wigan playing out to the left. Goodway steaming through. Pushes off Donlan. Walks over him. Goes round Woods. Hanley. Onto Gill now coming inside. Decides to go through the gap. He's made the break. He's got Hanley in support. Simpson's coming over. Gill puts the ball back to Hanley. Woods is holding on. The ball's going loose. Finally it'll be Ford who'll recover. Looked like a knock on behind the line, but referee allows play on. Good break by Hanley. Sorry, by Gill. Well, with Simpson trying to bring it away from acting halfback. And straight into Hanley and West. There's a Bradford player down injured, it looks like Potts. As Parrott tries to bring it away. All with Woods, onto Fennell, Sykes. Tried to go under Lowe's tackle. On the Bradford 25, Fennell at acting halfback. Third to Sheldon, driving down the blind side. Six Tattle's coming up. All goes to Sheldon. It's a high kick. Ball bounces over to Toit's head, but he recovers well. Carries the ball handedly. George Sheldon running at it. Tackle finally by Mulden. All with Goodway coming in centre field. Just unable to get his pass out to Kiss. Both teams now reduced to 12 men. As Goodway's been held in the tackle. And a bit of a centre in the middle of the field between Goodway. Mike Goodway and Sheldon. Referee calling them both out. I think Sheldon was at fault, not allowing Goodway up to play the ball. Wigan were in an attacking situation. Bradford got the free kick. What's referee Whitfield going to do? Still gives Bradford the free kick. Thought he might have at least give a scrum down. Anyway, it's Ford. Puts the high kick to touch. Pearce. Sykes flying in. And straight at Kiss and Lucas. They hold firm. Pearce at acting halfback. Tackle comes in from Kiss. Now it's Fennell that takes it up. Also long ball out to Mulden. Onto Potts who can't hold. Knock on. Russell feeds the scrum, digs in and deep, comes out with it at the back. Detroit, puts it on to Hanley, out to Potter. We're going to have an overlap. The ball out from Potter to Braithwaite. Woods is chasing across. Braithwaite decides to come back inside. Almost lost the ball. Hanley recovered. Now Hanley on to Lowe, running down centre field, looking for the pass. Well, the ball lost in the tackle. Tonight's man of the match. Announced it's Sean Edwards, not on the field at the moment. A blistering display in the first half. Meanwhile, it's Fennell who takes the ball from the scrum, looking around for runners, puts it inside to Woods. Hanley's chasing him, and Woods goes in. What a consolation try, I would think now, for Bradford. About 15 yards to the right-hand side of the post. Takes the score to Wigan 46. Bradford 10. Woods an attempt to convert his own kick. Won't try, and he misses the kick, so the score remains Wigan 42, Bradford 10. 9 minutes of the match. Detroit comes up for the restart. Puts a kick deep again. Potts comes for it, takes it well. Tries to run right. Straight into Lowe. Priest an acting halfback. Inside to Sherratt. Back inside to Sykes. When West pinches the ball. A split second decision, referee gives the free kick to Bradford. Said he'd call the tackle. Well, no, it's a scrum down. The light referee had given the free kick. And Fennell will feed for Bradford. It's the ball straight out to Woods, to Donlan, onto Ford. This goes round Braithwaite. Ball's going loose, and it's Wigan. Well, no, Donlan just beats Russell to the ball. Bradford now playing along the line. Sheldon. Taken by Lowe and Braithwaite. Just inside the Wigan half of the field. Out to Woods again. Inside to Price. Slips Lucas is tackled. It's a good ball back to Parrott. Tattle comes in from Kiss. Ball now with Fennell. Long ball out to side bottom, bounces off Goodway. Now Fennell again. Back to Sherratt. 6 tackles coming up. 2 Wigan players down at the moment. Lucas and Gill. Bradford's played along the line. Wood puts up the high kick. Potter takes it well. Ulster running out. On with Braithwaite, coming in the centre of the field.
Get him off! Go on!
Ball now with West, driving down. Taken by Priest. Kiss an acting halfback, tries to go at himself. It's a good ball back to Brian Case, looking for runners. Just unable to get his pass out as Woods came in. Ball now with Russell. On ball from Russell to Braithwaite, rolls into touch. We'll suppose it matters at the moment. Wigan about. Looks like to make another substitution. Don't think they've got any substitutes left, actually. So Wigan down to 11 men now. As Bradford win the scrum. Ford brings it away, puts it onto Donlan. Inside, Potts joining the line. Side bottom, onto Simpson. Comes back inside, Dutoit. Taken to ground by Russell and Potter just over the Wigan 25. Donlan to Woods. Has to go it himself. Taken by West and Kiss on the Wigan 25. Woods taking his time to get up. To Priest. First pass to Sheldon. Tries to drive it in. Kiss again in the tattle. Oh, Sykes goes to drive it in. Straight at Hanley. And tattle completed by Lowe. Or to Fennell. To Woods. Bradford have the overlap. And Sherrod just unable to hold the ball. It's Wigan. That's Lucas who comes up with it for Wigan. Okay, scores the match in half-back. Back to Kiss. On to Potter. To Lowe. Lowe just unable to get his pass out to Braithwaite. There goes the final hooter. Score here at Central Park. Wigan 42. Bradford 10. It's your commentator, Carl Culshaw. Hoping you've enjoyed the video. Done tonight by our cameraman, Brian Worthington. And in the early parts, John Oakes. Good night from Central Park.